Whoops. Only an hour and 15 minutes late. I completely forgot that I was supposed to be doing this today. Lost track of time. Not a good situation. I wasn't going to leave you hanging 2 weeks in a row, though. I couldn't do that to you. At least I'm late, but I'm here. Dr. Trolling in the house. What's up, Jason? How you doing? And my guy, Gio. How you doing? How is everybody doing today? What's up, Adam?
Let's go.
Oh, God, that's so loud. Jason, how you doing? Man, I'm glad everybody's rolling in, even though I'm like an hour and 15 minutes late. Probably because y'all been sitting around waiting on me this whole time. Let's see. Trying to... Yeah, Virgil, it's a little bit late today. I'm trying to get myself situated here. I was out hitting and just kind of lost track of time, and here we are. Now getting that content grind in. Shooting a little bit of a throwback Thursday video today. And then the Anarchy 22 a day ASA model. Really enjoyed last year, so I felt like I was almost obligated to swing this year's model. Bounce some topics off me. What do you want to hear today? What do you want to talk about? Should we just call somebody and put them on the spot for a guest spot? Or should we just do some topics and fire away? I'm up for whatever. I'm like kind of totally thrown out of my element here. I just ran in the door and sat down. I've got a list of stuff wrote down somewhere that I'm podcasting about, and I don't even know where it's at. The bush. Man, that's coming up, isn't it? I just thought about that. Call in Thursday. It's not a bad idea, Adam. I don't know how many we'll get. Oh. The thought halfway crossed my mind to just sit here and edit the video I just shot, just for kind of poops and giggles here a little bit. What's everybody doing this weekend? Who's playing ball? Who's not? Got to get a head count on that. Playing in a good old Chillicothe, Missouri this weekend. We played in Salisbury, Missouri last weekend in their yearly steak festival that they do while the town's going. It's kind of funny. It's Salisbury and they call it the Steak Festival. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. It's a little farm town. I couldn't tell you if there's like a kind of a pun behind that or if that's just how it bees. Finally starting next week, John says. That's awesome. It's about time. Don't worry, Snacks. You're hello. You're not missing much. I completely whiffed on being obligated to this morning. Afternoon, whatever you want to call it. We were out having the battle of the century at BP today. Had our guy Dustin hitting with us here lately. And if you're local or happen to just be in somewhat of the local scene and know our guy Jacob Junker, or Jacob Junker. I can't read and talk at the same time. That's why I get into reading the chat. That's why I get in trouble reading the chat. Know my guy Dustin Ray. He has been hitting BP with us. He's a teacher, so he's out for the school year. So he's been coming and hitting with us, and got into a little bit of a heated battle this morning. Not gonna lie to you, we tried to do a home run derby, and it absolutely flopped for everybody but D-Ray because that guy can hit with a broomstick. The current running joke at BP right now is our hands are internet speeds. D-Ray is fiber. He's got the fiber internet hands. I've got cable, and then Brian says that he's got dial-up. We tried to do a home run derby with this 30-ounce Resmondo that we've got, and it was like, oh, cool, it's going to be a good idea. It's going to be so much fun. Boy, it wasn't. But we are going to try and play in Chillicothe, Missouri this weekend. So last weekend I got sidetracked. I can't read the chat and talk, I'm telling you. So this past weekend I played in Salisbury at their little steak festival. We went 5-0. I think we did run rule every team we played. There was some pretty decent competition, really. We had one big inning every game. We scored like 3 or 4 swings. Or sorry, 3 or 4 runs in a handful of innings, and it's had one big inning almost every game. Is really the biggest source of our run production from the day. We had a really good team, but the wind was blowing in. It was basically unlimited because we all had armbands, and wind was blowing in on the freaking baseball field. Other than that, if it wasn't for the wind, even being on a baseball field, if it wasn't for the wind, I think I seriously would have had a day to tell my grandkids about. I couldn't tell you how many balls I hit, like 320 plus. Even a couple that hit off the fence. Like the fence is basically like, I want to say it's like 315 in the left field corner, 340 in center, and then maybe like 320 in right. 330, and I think it's 330. For whatever reason, it's deeper in right field. And man, I was just like living on the fence. And then finally, my last at bat of the day, I finally just got mad and said, screw it. I got my psycho out that I hadn't swung all day because I didn't want to, maybe selfish and a little bit petty, but I didn't want to waste it at a podunk tournament because it's got to be close to cashing in. I sure would think. And man, I finally got the psycho out and just said, forget it, because in the championship game, my first at bat, I hit a laser down the left field line. Dude comes running just like literally from 10 miles away, like does it like a diving slide thing. Ball just pops right into his glove. Drove me nuts. Drove me absolutely nuts. So then my next swing, I was like, all right, screw it. So I'm going to, I'm just going to beat this ball in the face and just let it rip. So I hit it. And the second it came off the bat, I thought, I missed it, but I got enough. Just by the way it took off. And then it started tailing towards center field. It kind of inside-outed it. And it started tailing towards center field. And here comes the left center fielder out of freaking nowhere. Catches this thing. And when I say lemon snow cone, I mean like double scoop. I don't know how it stayed in his glove. So my last at bat, I'm finally like, you know what? Screw it. Like, we're just going to send it. I'm going to hit this thing so high that nobody's going to catch it. And ended up sneaking a ball out. I finally got a ball out of the baseball field. I usually don't get hung up in trying to hit home runs, especially on baseball fields or in situations like that. But we had a good enough team. I didn't really have anything to lose. We were all kind of having a pissing match anyway. So it was kind of funny. We did play one team, and man, it just wasn't their game. They'd won a couple games on the day, but it just was not their game. I think we scored 20 runs in the first inning. I mean, it was out of hand pretty quick, and we had every hit falling in, and we had a team with a lot of power, and we were finally not on a baseball field. We played one game on a field that's like 285 fences, and we just poured it on in the first inning. So after that, we used to do this thing way back in the day. When I used to play with my friend Tony Wales, and we used to do this thing where we'd get up or down by a bunch of runs. It didn't matter. Usually we were down by a bunch of runs. We were just out there playing league, just having a giggle, having a blast. And we used to do the ice cream sandwich contest. And basically what it was whoever hits the highest fly ball that does not go out wins an ice cream sandwich. It was I tell you what, you could get some pretty interesting looking swings. People doing some pretty dumb stuff just to try and hit a ball as high as they can. It's a lot of fun. It's hilarious. Scotty Van Z ended up winning that thing. Got him an ice cream sandwich, but the bum wouldn't go to Casey's with me and get it, so I owe him an ice cream sandwich. But the one swing I tried to get that done, I literally, and I kid you not, I was swinging my Pure for the day, and it's got the rolled end cap on it. I tried so hard to hit the ball straight up in the air that like literally the blue writing from the ball was like perfectly imprinted on the end of the bat. I missed it that bad, and it just like cue-shotted back to the pitcher and like spun like 90 times before it got there. It was an adventure, but just something to kind of try and in a situation like that, maybe just trying to get the game over with. I mean, it's not like we were being a bunch of classless assholes out there, trying to hit balls as high as we could or anything like that. Just try to do something to maybe incentivize ourselves to maybe get some outs and maybe get the game over with a little quicker. But it was a lot of fun. Like I said, we've done stuff like that, up by a bunch of runs and down by a bunch of runs. And it's just Mitchell was there umpiring, and he said dribbler. He said that thing had some old English on it, brother. You ain't lying. It had a ton of English on it. Gio wants to know how's Tony doing. By the way, Tony's doing good. Tony is teaching over at Salisbury. He is the math teacher, and I want to say I'm not sure what he's moved up to now. I know he's coaching football over there to some capacity. I know he's with the varsity team, but I want to say he might be the assistant coach for the JV team, maybe the junior high team. I can't remember. He's pretty involved with the football stuff. I do know that. Sorry, got text messages rolling in here. Yeah, classless scored 16 runs in one inning with no outs. Yeah, that was the other crazy part. We scored 16 with no outs in the first inning. We weren't taking any like extra bases or anything like that. I mean, pretty much from the get-go, it was game on. I mean, I think every guy on the team besides Tony might have had a home run in that game. Or did Tony have one too? Mitchell, did Tony have one too? I can't remember. I can't remember if he did or not. And again, for those that might have missed it, I'll do whatever for topics. I'm just kind of sitting here chilling, shooting the shit with you guys. Sometimes I like to do that for a podcast, just kind of get everybody caught up and everything. It's nice to just kind of chill with the community. But I'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I do not care. I do know good T-work tips. Okay. I can totally do that. Let's see if I can find... You've put me up to a challenge now. I'm going to see if I can't find me a T-work video. And I will say, like, even my video aside, Ryan Harvey has some really, really good videos on doing T-work. Honestly, I'd probably start there. But let me see what I can find for a T-work video, just to kind of give you like a comparison or maybe some cues to work on. Because one thing I've been saying, I'm going to make this video and that video for years now, and I just haven't done it. I'm honestly just kind of a lazy piece of crap. And let's see, sifting through. Has it been that long since I've done a T-work video? I guess I need to do one of those. There's the red bat. There's the KP. I'm looking for like a specific angle here that I can get this at. You're doing good on keeping the questions rolling here too. Keep them pouring in here. I'm going to keep looking for a clip of some tee work. I know there's got to be one here somewhere. Ben Smith on Instagram. Okay, I need to do better at Instagram. I really do. I suck at Instagram really, really bad. Man, I might have to go back a ways to find what I'm looking for here. I might just have to get creative with the Microsoft Paint, because I'm like looking for a specific angle for the tee work, and it seems like all the tee work stuff that I can find has been stuff shot from like directly behind me. Because usually when I do tee work, I'm just looking to hit a ball back through the box. I'm not looking to do anything fancy like Ryan Harvey talks about in some of his videos. Talks about wanting to hit spots and do that kind of thing. And you totally can. There's no reason that you can't. But to me, tee work does me a lot better if I'm just like using it to square the ball up. Just kind of feel the ball off the bat, square the ball up, drive the ball a little bit. Let's see, I think this might be one here. Okay, bear with me here. We're almost there. We're almost there, guys. We found one, and we're almost there. I'll quit. So then I'm going to grab this. Okay. All right, so let's see if I can freeze it on like my first main emphasis of tee work. Oh, can I go back? Put this in slow motion. Playback speed. So like I've really got the ball like out in front of me here. I like the ball to be, as you'll see here. So there's my front foot, and there is the tee. I have worked and adjusted to not striding out as far to hit the ball. But general terms for me, I like, when I'm doing my tee work, I like my tee to be somewhere around where my front foot's going to land, because that's going to be like my point of contact, my point of impact 99% of the time. Like when I'm emphasizing tee work, what I'm really thinking about is like using this bat and kind of driving through the ball like I'm hitting an axe against a tree. Is kind of what I want. When you're hitting an axe against a tree, you're not standing with, the tree at your belly button. You're not doing anything weird. You're hitting out in front of yourself, and that's kind of the same emphasis that I drive home with my tee work here. And as you can see, the other thing I try and do when I talk about ball striking, this is what I'm talking about. It's like I like you can barely see the tee just like flicker right there, and more than likely it was probably just the bat going past it. Like this is super satisfying to me as far as tee work goes, to be able to square the ball up and not touch the tee. To me, that's where people ask about cutting the ball. Like, how do you learn to cut the ball? How do you learn to cut the ball? Like, dude, this is the best way to truly learn how to truly cut a ball, is to take tee work like this. Take tee work and work on hitting the ball flush. Because I mean, that's the bat head is completely through the ball. There's no chop. There's no nothing. And I'm not saying that I'm perfect every swing here, but more times than not, what I'm looking to do is exactly that. I want to get the ball flush and clean off the tee. I mean, that's a 200-foot line drive. That's perfect for me as far as tee work goes. And all I'm doing is just working on hitting the ball like it's heavy. A really good thing to do just to even get maybe like a little bit of a feel initially for tee work is to hit some total control balls off of a tee, because that's going to teach you the same thing. It's going to teach you to square. It's going to teach you to drive and kind of punch through the ball. And when I say punch, I don't mean like punch to the ball, punch through the ball. Like if you look, like our bat, I know we're not going to talk about any of this pre-swing stuff. All I'm focused on is point of contact. And right here, I've got my bat head down. My bat head's coming to the ball, and then it's going to go through the ball. We are going completely through the ball. Completely through it. We're not going swinging to the ball. We're swinging through the ball and snapping it off of the tee. If I'm hitting the axe on the tree, that is my point of contact, is where that axe is going to be. That's where my snap is. It all comes together right there at the very end. I don't really care what happens before or after when it comes to tee work, because I know I've got kind of a goofy looking hitch. It's more of a timing mechanic than anything. I've tried to not do it, and it just feels so weird to not do it, to do the little bit of the hitch. I know I have a little bit of a hitch in my hands anyway, but it's just something about loading myself up. Since there's nothing to time with the pitch, it helps me kind of like load my swing and kind of time things a little bit. But like I said, focus on having the tee out in front of you. So many people want to put the tee at their belly button, and they kind of jam themselves a little bit. And you can get away with, hitting to different kinds of fields and everything else, hitting off of a tee. But I'm just going right back up the box pretty much this entire video. I'm just going to go ahead and play it now just so we can see. I'm just looking to beat the box this whole video here. And that's the best way to get out of a funk. That's the best way to help yourself with ball striking. See, again, just look. I mean, the tee's not even moving. It doesn't have to be perfect every time, because I think you're going to see a few clips in here of me clipping the tee and that kind of thing. Nobody's perfect, and that's why we're here to do better. That ball just made it 150 feet in a matter of seconds. Just from, see, I finally clipped the tee a little bit there. Just because I got the bottom half of the ball. And my preference for tee work, everybody likes to hit a different kind of pitch. My preference for tee work is anything like belly button to about the bottom of my chest. Depends on what I'm swinging, depends on what I'm wanting to do with the ball. But basically, what I would take home from just the quick little crash course I can give you here from hitting off a tee is get it out, get your tee out where about your stride is going to land, and drive through it. Push it like it's heavy. Hit it off the tee. Don't go to the ball, go through the ball. You got to hit that ball like it's heavy. Like if you want it to go somewhere, you've got to hit every bit of it. Just like hitting a total control ball or something like that. And again, you can see all the consistency here of not even touching the tee, hitting a consistent line drive. That is, see, again, I cleaved a little bit of the tee, but that's kind of the territory of getting a little bit of the bottom of the ball sometimes. But the main takeaway, oh, hush, fatty. Like I said, the main takeaway is square the ball up. Focus on squaring, focus on driving. Kind of a cool video, too. I was super glad to have this flipper so I could do the side-by-side comparison. Boom. Yeah, snacks. So just like you said, Rusty Bumgarner would imagine hitting 2 balls at contact, trying to focus on driving through the second ball. So there is a tee for that. There's a tee that has, I want to say maybe 2 balls on it, something like that. And they also make like I don't know how to describe it. It's basically a tee that's got like a rail, and the ball is at the end of it. And basically it teaches you to not go up at the ball and not go down at the ball, because you're going to hit the rail before you hit the ball. It's rubber. It's a rubber rail. So you're going to hit the rail before you hit the ball if your swing is not through the ball. But yeah, another good way to emphasize that is working on hitting a second ball. So let's see. Go back to Swish. Right. Catch up with the chat here a little bit. Junk wants to know how I break my gloves in. I'm kind of meticulous and slow when it comes to breaking gloves in. Really, it's just I hit them with a good coat of conditioner, and then sometimes I'll give them a little bit of heat. And when I say heat, I don't mean in the oven. I mean like in the dash of your car. Let it sit in the sun in the dash of your car after conditioning it with a ball inside of it, just to get that leather really, really, really good and loose. And then I'll do what's called the shoe shine method. I really like doing the shoe shine method after it's good and warm. So once the leather's warm, it's going to want to work with you and it'll cool back off. You've got to make sure when you let it cool back off, it's going to be how you want it. Because that's really the first few times you do that is really going to kind of define what the glove is going to want to do. So if you just like throw it on the dash or you throw it on the couch or the table or whatever and walk away from it, and it's not laying right or it doesn't have a ball in it, it's really going to affect how the glove breaks in. And the other thing too is ball mallet the freaking crap out of the pocket. I don't like to ball mallet the whole thing. To me, I like my pockets to play super deep. That's half the reason I'm such a fan of the Vinci gloves, is the pockets on them are just incredibly huge. They are cut more for softball. They do make baseball gloves too, but their softball gloves are cut for softball and have a super deep pocket on them. So do all of that, condition the crap out of it, get it good and warm, do some shoe shine stuff on it, and then just ball mallet the freaking crap out of the pocket. Just kind of wash, rinse, repeat a handful of times until it kind of gets to where you can use it in a game. And even while I'm playing catch with it, when I'm first getting it going, I am focusing on catching everything in the pocket just to try and beat that pocket down a little bit more. And one thing I like to do, I think I've actually got, maybe both of my gloves are still untied right now. It just kind of depends on how the glove has been feeling. I will untie the two knots at the top of basically the thumb and the pinky. I'll untie those knots, and what that does is kind of let the laces of the glove kind of spread and stretch out a little bit, which is also going to help the glove play a little bit bigger. Now, you're not going to want to leave them like that for very long. Like I said, I kind of go through phases where like I'll tighten everything back up, like I'll basically cinch the glove back together and leave it untied and kind of let it get loose and then retie them again. I think they're both untied right now. That is one thing that I do like to do as well, is untie the thumb and the pinky just to kind of let the fingers spread out, and that's really going to kind of teach the fingers to close around the ball as well. See, what do I think of the 240 bats compared to the 220s? I will say that I do. There's no denying that the 240 bat does not perform like a 220. Now, that's not. I don't know. It's kind of a blanket statement, you might say, because the 240 is not going to get as hot as the 220. We have yet to get a 240 bat below 230 even, to really see what we're getting with there. It's kind of uncharted territory for us so far, but so many people are losing their minds about the 240 bats. And performance-wise, here's the reality of it. The reality of it is so many people take the wrapper off of their 220 bat, put 50, 60 swings on it, and throw it in their bag. That bat is testing above 240 and you're freaking using it. So don't sit around and whine about the performance, because the performance of a 240 bat, of a 240 standard bat, is no different than a 220 bat testing at 240. There's no difference. The biggest difference and the biggest takeaway that I have figured out so far, at least in my opinion, with the 240 bats, is you got to have the mass if you want to hit the ball. I know 24, 25 ounce bat speed guys, that's perfectly fine. You do your thing. But I have found that the heavier they are, the better they are. No question. The Mikan Freak 23 is good. It's a good bat. It's a really good bat. But the Freak 9R was that much better, and the only difference between the two is the full ounce of inload. Like it's noticeable how much better that bat is. And sure, the inloaded bat's going to be better in general, but just the heavier they are and the more inloaded they are, the better they're going to be, because now you have to work with the bat. The 220s were getting the hits for people. The 220s were getting down into the 180s, and I've got two of them in my bag testing below 200. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm some kind of perfect angel, because why wouldn't you use it if you can? But I could step into the box with a 240 testing at 240 and not feel at a disadvantage. You just got to be what you want to hit. They are not as forgiving as a 220 bat. If the two bats are testing 240 and 240, sorry, lots of numbers here, so I'm trying not to lose you. If I've got an old standard bat and a new standard bat, and they're both testing 240, the 220 bat is still going to feel better, and you're going to think it's better because it's more forgiving. Damn near every 220 bat on the market right now, I say on the market, out, released, whatever, because they're technically not on the market anymore. But every 220 bat, dude, you could seriously just about turn it around and hit it with a knob and still hit the sweet spot. The 240s aren't that way, and that's one thing I do enjoy about it. A good hitter is still a good hitter, no matter what bat is in their hands. I've kind of been working with my guy D-Ray, Dustin, been working with him on that. Just kind of explaining to him, like, he is, no question, without a doubt in my mind, I will stand by it until the day I hit the grave. He is the best bad ball hitter I will ever play with. No question, the best bad ball hitter. And before I started playing on teams with him, and even afterwards playing against him, so basically playing, I've played a decent amount of ball with Dustin, but the times that I'm not playing with him and I'm pitching against him before and after I met him, dude, it's just, I hate pitching to that dude. He is aggressive. He is cutthroat. He is going to swing at the first thing he can reach. And one of the funniest things that we used to say about him, and it's so true, it is 100% true. And he'll tell you. I'm going to have him on the podcast probably next week. Because D-Ray's a smart guy. He's been around the game for a minute. And he's a daggum nut, man. I think you guys will like him. So I'm going to try and have him on next week. But he'll tell you, and I'll even bring it up next week. One thing that he used to say, he still says it, but I've been riding his ass about it. If you can reach it, talking about pitches, if you can reach it, you'd better have a damn good reason for why you didn't swing at it. That's kind of D-Ray's thing. That's what he does. He is an incredible hitter. You could throw it into shoestrings. He's going to find a way to hit it 350 feet. You could throw it into the other batter's box head high. He'll still find a way to hit it 350 feet. Your pitcher's getting blown up and he's on your team. Sorry, feel bad for you. Wherever you throw it, it's going right back at the pitcher's head. His control has gotten extremely good. He used to be just kind of a full send home run guy, but over these last couple of years, he has worked on his control, and it's impressive to watch. And he's playing B-ball, and they're playing a lot of conference events, and they're having to use the 240s. And one of the things he's kind of been saying is, they're awful. They're no good. I'm not enjoying swinging these things. And I was kind of like, D, listen, like, these 240 bats aren't as forgiving as a 220, like the stuff you've been swinging for years. So you're going to have to earn your hits. Hit a good pitch, which is something he does not like to do. I should say he doesn't like to do. But he doesn't have to think about it. He doesn't have to do it because he can hit whatever you throw at him. But we've been working with him on hitting a good pitch, hitting a strike. And it's been impressive to watch him progress and get better. It's kind of crazy to say progress and get better as a hitter when you're talking about Dustin Ray, but it's happening. It's happening in BP. I've been riding his ass on making sure he's hitting strikes, and he's getting better every time we go hit. That is my biggest takeaway with the 240s is good hitters will still be good hitters, and you got to hit good pitches. There's no more swinging whatever you feel like. There's no more dumping a ball over the infield. You can still do it, but you're going to have to be damn good at it, and you can't miss if you're going to be at that style hitter. Basically, the 240 is going to make you earn your hits, and I love it. 100% love it. I think it's a great thing for the game. What's the story behind the monster bat that I posted? So there will be a review coming on that. I'm just kind of doing my thing with it right now. I've got the review shot and everything else. I'm debating. I'd really like to just get it all done in one foul swoop and get it over with. As far as comparisons and that kind of things go, I hit a 22 a day today, and I didn't have a chance to get out the tee, and I want to do a comparison video like side by side, 22 a day and the Monster. I don't know. I probably will just to see, but it's not really going to be a fair comparison off the radar, simply for the fact that the 22 a day is a 26 and feels kind of light for a 26. And that Monster is a 27 with a full ounce of end load, and it's a fucking sledge. Like, I would be willing to bet that Monster is probably 4 or 5 miles an hour better than that 22 a day off the tee, just simply because of the mass behind the ball. I really feel that way. The Monster is a good bat. I'll never say that their bats don't perform. That bat has been performing really well. But I want to kind of get everything done all at once and then post the video. I don't want a whole bunch of, and it's no bias. It's just, I don't want to wear my audience out with the Monster stuff, because I know a lot of my audience doesn't enjoy the Monsters. I know some of you do, and that's perfectly fine. You can have that video and we can move on. As I said earlier, I'm giving them a chance because everything that I harped on about Monster with the wait times and the order times and the wait for the orders, and just kind of the not so much customer interaction but customer service type things, I subjected everybody to when I did that custom order of Pure. No offense to anybody within that company. They make great bats, but they just bit off more than they could chew with their custom program. I'll be blunt. And the long wait times and the disorganization and everything else is everything that I harped on Monster for. So it was only fair, if I'm going to bash one company for doing, I can't not bash the other and not swing their bat. So that's why the bat will be on the channel. Full dye jerseys would be awesome. Hey, you come up with some artwork and we'll make it happen. Would anybody be interested in doing some full dyes, like a BP Hero full dye? Assuming you're not talking to anybody else. I don't think you are, no. I'd have to look at price points and things like that. But would anybody be interested in some kind of full dye? I mean, we can do whatever for artwork. I tell you what I really like. I really like this floral thing that LS has been doing. They had some shirts out last year that had like a kind of a floral tropical print to it. Dude, I could totally get down with some of that and some BP Hero action. 100%. I would love that. There's another Ben Smith suggestion. I'll have to check that out. So one thing I do want to talk about, I had it on. I remembered I had it on the list. I'm just kind of jumping all over the place here. I'm going to talk about this, and then we'll get back into what the chat's been talking about. So one thing that was kind of a topic of discussion going into last weekend's tournament, the Salisbury Steak Festival used to be like one of the tournaments in kind of the Missouri area that everybody wanted to go play. It was the tournament that everybody wanted to win. Like it had an extremely good turnout, and it's been getting smaller and smaller every year. And this year, I mean, we scrounged to have, well, I think it was 5 teams is what they ended up having. And there were complaints made and things said that I do think that is true. And I even liked the post on Facebook that the person was talking about. It was in the comment section of a post. And basically it was someone saying, oh, we'll go, we always put together teams for all these fundraisers, but nobody wants to come play ours, or nobody wants to come do this, nobody wants to come do that, but we'll come play every fundraiser you put on. This person was basically just kind of taking a jab at the handful of teams that either bailed out or wouldn't come sign up, because the Steak Festival is one of those things. It's a very small local community, and for years, if it's just one of those, like, it may be the only slow pitch softball that those people play for years. My computer just started downloading an update, so let me know if I start getting really choppy, and I will cancel that update. Just wanted to throw that out there now. I'm assuming it's probably going to try and bog my internet down a little bit. But just let me know. But anyway, so one of the things that was said was basically, we don't want to go play all these loaded teams and get our butts kicked. It's been getting worse and worse every year, and it's just not fun. And I get that. I totally get that. Because what's happening is, as far as around here at a local level, I can't speak for everybody's local level, but for around here, there is a lot of good teams. There's a lot of good players. And on the weekends that those good teams and those good players aren't playing, they want to go play podunk stuff that's not, U-Trip sanctioned and cutthroat and, You got to get every base you can. Sometimes people just want to play softball and relax. So you end up with tournaments with all these really good ball players that cater to these good ball players. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of really good D and really good C players around here and some B players as well. And I am 100% telling on myself when I say that I was part of one of those teams this weekend, but it was the group I agreed to play with is all it was. I didn't try and stack the team. I was added to the team late, actually. But I know I sound hypocritical because I was on the team, but you go and you put on all these tournaments like this, and then you let everybody hit a Pro-M with whatever bat they feel like freaking swinging, and then you give everybody home run bans. That's just not conducive to rec league softball. That's conducive to bringing in as many competitive teams as you want. And the reason there wasn't a big competitive team turnout this year was Jock Snitch going on out in Kansas. So there was a lot of good teams out there. There was a lot of good players out there from the area that would have otherwise put teams in this tournament. But they would also be the ones buying armbands for everybody on the team. This tournament is kind of a rec league tournament, really and honestly. And like I hate that I'm being so hypocritical, but it's just what it is. We all had a home run ban. We all hit not a ton of home runs because, like I said, you heard the story earlier. But the fact that we were able to swing away, and like I said, we got on a small field, and it was bombs away. I couldn't tell you how many home runs we hit in the first inning. And had the wind not been blowing, the whole day would have been like that. And if I'm those guys that come out and want to play once a year, and that's what I've got to go up against, I wouldn't want to show up either. It's kind of gotten away from rec league fun, can't wait till next year type stuff. And the guys that are saying can't wait till next year are the ones that take 500 swings a month all year long to stay fresh for their B and C tournaments, and then come out and want to beat up everybody at a little podunk thing. You can't do divisions because you don't get enough teams. The biggest way out of that is to, you guessed it, 52 300 ball, no armbands, limit it to 3 or 5 home runs. Player safety becomes an issue at that point. If that's what you're worried about, then honestly, that's a whole nother can of worms you got to open, because you're going to get all these people that can have home run power hitting down on the ball because they're out of home runs. So that is also a variable, but that's kind of at a tournament. That's kind of at a tournament director's discretion at a certain point to decide what to do there. And it's also kind of a thing with maybe the players like, man, don't be that guy. Like, if you're that good, surely you can work around a defense or work around a spot in the field and do it with a little bit of class if you're just going to blow a team out of the water. But my opinion and my fix to things like last weekend where there's only 5 teams is to take away the home run bans and let everybody hit a 52 300 ball. Podunk softball is, in fact, podunk softball. It's not the world tournament. Some of us joke around and call it the World Fair circuit because it seems like every time there's a fair, there's a softball tournament, and everybody wants to come out and sweat and compete and call in every ringer they can find and do that thing. And loading up a team is whatever. I've been on loaded teams before. I'm not going to sit here and say I haven't. But it's either be on the loaded team or get beat by the loaded team. You can limit home runs, and it changes everything. Excuse me. Gosh, I'm so allergic to my own bullshit. So Aggie21 wants to know opinions on loyalty to a team versus moving up. My situation is I'm an E guy, but I played up with the team for a weekend. I did well, and now that team wants me to join them permanently. A couple of different things you could go. A couple of different directions you could go with that. If the E team that you're on is a team that you've been with for a long time, maybe consider staying. And if you're good enough to join a team at another level and that team wants you, do what you can to make the people around you better. If you're that good that you can move up a class and that team wants you to move up a class, be a leader, be the contagious guy that wants to make everybody better and make your whole team better so you can go play at the next level next year. I mean, everybody wants to move up. That's the ultimate goal. I say everybody wants to. Donald's cracked up to me. That's all I'll say about that. But that would be my suggestion. If it's a team you've been with for a long time, write it out. Do what you can to make your teammates and everybody around you better. If it's just kind of something where you jumped in to get some swings in and potentially get picked up, then the team that you're with is going to have to understand, you're looking to better yourself. You're looking to move up. And if that doesn't involve them, that sucks. Not much you can do about it. Let's see. Oh, now I should have read more. It says, however, I am at peace. Centerpiece, captain on my current E team. Yeah. So, but yeah, I would write it out. Sorry, I should have read further into that before I made a reply there. Just write it out. Do what you can to make the guys around you better, and take that E team and beat that D team that you played with this past weekend. Make those guys better. If you're a centerpiece and you're a captain, be a leader. And do what you can to be contagious and make everybody around you better.
We must pay homage to him.
Jason says he gave up on today's podcast. Yeah, I completely whiffed. That's my fault that I got here late. Gio, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of bounce bat. If the right thing feels good to me, I'll totally be open about it. I will say, yeah, see, Mitchell said it, the most recent Not a Lie mid-load video, that bat 100% felt like a bounce bat to me. There is just a couple of balanced 240s out there, but if someone told me I had to swing a bounce bat tomorrow and it had to be a 240, no question, that's the bat I'm picking. No question. So definitely check one of those out. I'm not even sure where you can get those besides Dean Range's website either. Let's see. Yeah, Junk, going back to the glove thing, it doesn't have to be like on the dash of your car, just somewhere that can subject it to some heat. You could even turn your oven on and set the glove up on top of your stovetop, obviously with the stovetop off, and let the glove get the heat from the oven that way. I don't like steaming gloves just because it can make the inside of the glove kind of funky, and depending on the quality of the glove and sometimes how the glove was dyed or colored, it can mess with that as well. So I'm not real big on steaming gloves. And yeah, the ASO method is also really good too. I would do that if I was brave enough to, I guess, really trust myself to do that. But he does kind of the same thing with the heat thing. He takes the hot water and basically heats up certain parts of the glove and works the glove in. And I tell you what, that man has got to have hands stronger than a freaking ox, because he can take a glove that looks stiff as a freaking board and just manipulate it like nothing I've ever seen. Like it's a piece of paper. It's crazy. Not letting that man get his hands on my neck. Yeah, Gio, personally, I do suggest Vinci gloves. I suggest them to everybody. There's other good gloves out there, but the Vinci's have always been my favorites and my go-tos. But there's definitely other quality gloves out there. I can't make a ton of suggestions on them just because, honestly, I don't know a whole lot about them. I know, obviously, you got your Wilson A2000s and your A2Ks and your Heart of the Highs and your Pro Preferreds and all that stuff, but I just honestly don't know a ton about that stuff. So I can't even know what to suggest as far as that goes. But I can tell you, if you want a Vinci, I can tell you almost off the top of my head what model you need. Man, y'all busy in the comments here. I'm hurrying up here. BP Hero underwear? Why not, right? No chafing guaranteed. Can you imagine? Need a full dye buy-in. Yeah, we can do that. I may have to look into that. I've got a t-shirt design that I've been working on for a while, and honestly just kind of got frustrated with the whole t-shirt making process. I reached out to 2 different companies to get the damn shirts done, and both of them just kind of hit a roadblock, an absolute roadblock. Very frustrating. So I just kind of got disheartened. I was going to try and keep it a secret and just kind of roll them out at once, but let's see if I can find it. I know I can find it in here. Stand by. Alright, so clearly this is just kind of like a rough draft. But I want to do... sometimes I don't like wearing freaking full dye shirts, man. I don't like full dyes. I don't like sub dyes. I just don't like dry fit. I do even like a 50-50 cotton blend. Or maybe, hell, seriously, just a freaking Gildan or a Hanes t-shirt. Just something different. It doesn't always have to be full dye and everything else. But this is obviously a very rough draft. I'm by no means a graphic designer or anything else. But I kind of thought about I was going to roll these shirts out with a hat to match. I've got the hats made. And I had 2 different places that were supposed to do the shirts for me. And both of them just kind of left me hanging. And I'm very stubborn when it comes to things like that. If you leave me hanging, then I don't want, you don't need my business that bad. And some of that comes from my dad being a business owner, my brother being a business owner, my other brother I shouldn't say working for, because he has a full-time job, but my other brother working with both my brother and my dad in their businesses, and myself doing the same. Customer appreciation goes so freaking far. And both companies, we got to all the way to the end. I had a couple things I had a question about and just got completely left hanging. I was seriously just going to do one company. I was just going to do a Gildan t-shirt, a cotton t-shirt. And then the other one I was going to do a 50-50 blend shirt with this on it. Because not everybody wants dry fit stuff. I don't want dry fit stuff. But this is kind of just like a rough draft of something I had made up with my BP logo on the front here. And then my saying, swing hard in case you hit it there on the back. I was going to roll those shirts out. I thought that would be kind of cool. It would be, if I did like a cotton shirt, it would be super affordable as well. You do like $20 a shirt. I'm still making a little bit of money to put back into the channel. And it's still a very affordable shirt for you guys. I could even do like a hat and shirt package if I'm sending them somewhere together. So I could get the ball rolling on something like that again if that would be something you guys are interested in. I've just been kind of lazy with doing all that stuff because I got frustrated with it. Catching up with Chad here. Yeah, Adam's suggestion with the tournament thing, with the E-player wanting to move up, is also a good suggestion. Leave on good terms. Your friends should want you to succeed. That's 100% true. That's also a big variable there as well. Stacks, I can't believe you didn't tell that story at your What Grinds My Gears What Grinds My Gears section of the podcast on Friday. A team trying to bat 13. Oh, we got to have Snacks on for another What Grinds My Gears segment. Maybe we'll just make him like my permanent nighttime host. Like if I decide to do the night show, which I totally could do, and I think I'm actually going to try and go live again tomorrow night. I haven't 100% decided yet. That's what I'm thinking. So maybe we should make Snacks our permanent nighttime guest. Show of hands? We're not going to give him a choice. He can make fun of me for cheese pizza all he wants as long as he stays on the podcast. Mitchell, I did try Benton's. I've had a little bit of communication with them about some other stuff, and their prices weren't ideal for what I'm kind of trying to do here. I want to make something affordable, and like I said, I want to make it affordable for you guys and also something that I can still make when I say a handful of money, I'm talking like pennies on the dollar, basically. Just to make a little bit of money to put back in the channel. Although this stuff is like a walking billboard per se, because everybody that's wearing this stuff is wearing my brand, is spreading my brand. But at the same time, my time is worth something. My time in getting all this stuff together and doing all the legwork is worth something. And the first handful of shirt orders I ran like at cost. And I realized real quick, I mean, that's a lot of freaking work to not make a dime on it. Man, you knotheads. If you don't know, you should know Headbanger Sports does uniforms. If I go full dyes, it'll be through Banger Brand. I really, really, really like their stuff. They did our Sonic uniforms this year. I've got a closet full of their stuff. It's really high quality stuff. I really like it a lot. So if I do decide to do the full dye route, it'll definitely be through Headbanger. I do suggest everybody's suggestions and wanting to take care of me. I do genuinely appreciate that. But being a bit of a brand homer and really enjoying the Banger Brand apparel, that is the route I will go if I do decide to do some full dyes. What are we thinking? Do we want to do like some floral print stuff? Let me see if I can find that Louisville shirt I'm talking about. Ooh, there's one right there. There's several designs. Let's see. I need a third monitor, but my wife said no. My stream computer's in my bedroom. In our bedroom, whatever. And I need a third monitor. And she said, no, absolutely not. So something like this, dude, I don't know why. I've always been kind of a sucker for the floral print, like kind of like Hawaiian themed looking stuff. I love this shirt. Absolutely love it. Maybe something like this, or they've got like a short sleeve that's like got more yellows and like light blues in it. And some pinks, but something like that would be freaking dope. See if I can find. Oh, goodness. Ah, sweet. Dude, check this out. That's the play right there. Love it. See what else we can find here. I really like tie-dye, too. I know there's a lot of mixed feelings on tie-dye, though. I know Snacks called my tie-dye shirts I used to wear in some of my BP videos. He called them moo-moos. I thought something like that would be kind of cool with like some BP Hero stuff on the front. Maybe even like mix it up and do like a new logo for the shirt. Snacks, of course you would say no to the floral print stuff. You crouch. You know, I'm going to buy you one and make you wear it anyway. Everyone look like Gabriel Iglesias. Dude, hey, dude's funny, though. That dude is hilarious. Need a dry fit shirt. Too damn hot for cotton. Yeah, and we can totally do some dry fit shirts. Maybe even in that same design. Or maybe even like just a 50-50 blend would help. Help it not be so sticky, I guess you could say, kind of what a cotton shirt is. Fluffy, Junk says, yeah. Snacks, you don't think that was you? That was you that said floral. No way. Pure spiders and someone else did those. No, I like the floral stuff. And yeah, some of the issue too is finding bigger man shirts. Some of us slow pitch softball players are not small people. BP Hero slides. Now that could get weird. I'm a slides guy. Maybe I could look into that. Because I like wearing slides. Definitely love my slides, especially on ball days. But anymore, New Balance makes turfs that are so freaking comfortable you can just put them on and wear them like shoes all day. So a lot of times I'll just get to the park and put them on and just leave them on all day long. So it sounds like we got an idea going for maybe like a full dye shirt and some t-shirts. Send me some ideas on what you think, what you want. You can reach me Facebook at the BP Hero, Instagram. I'll try and freaking check it. Or you can even comment here and try and post some links. I'm not sure if it'll let you. I know YouTube gets weird sometimes when people post links when it comes to things like that. YouTube, like if you post a link, it'll just immediately flag the comment and won't let it show up until I approve it. But reach out however you want. Maybe get some ideas going. Maybe we'll do like a floral print BP Hero shirt, and then do like a buy-in on those, and then maybe do like a small run of these Swing Hard in Case You Hit It shirts, and just kind of see where it goes. But I would like to do, if I do the Swing Hard in Case You Hit It shirts, I would like to do the matching hats, maybe like a package deal. Maybe do like, $20-25 for a shirt. It just depends on price point of what I can get the shirts at. Is going to be the biggest deciding factor for the price of the shirts, because I want to make it affordable enough that like you guys are like, no question, like, I might get one of those on payday. No, I want it to be a price that's like, oh yeah, I'll take one of those. Like how could I not? So I need to find kind of a happy medium there, and it'd be banging if I could do that and make like a shirt and hat combo for like a really cheap price. Because if I'm already shipping one thing, why not throw a hat in there too for just a little bit more money? So send me some ideas on what you guys are thinking. That's your project. You guys have a project. Give me some ideas. Put your brains together. BP Hero Boxers is not out of the question. I don't know that I will go live tomorrow night. Like I said, I'm going to be working on doing a night show. I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow night or not. It's going to depend on when I can bully Snacks into joining me for the podcast. So, we'll see what we get. The BP Hero is out of here. And I don't care if you didn't sign up for Homework Snacks. You're going to do it anyway. Maybe you can come up with some designs if you think floral stuff is so bad. Or maybe we can settle this Tebow debate. But anyway. When and if we do decide to go live with the night show, make sure you're subscribed. You turn on the notifications so you get the notification when we go live. And swing hard in case you hit it. And I'll catch you guys next time.